Hi, my name's Aoife. I'm a pre and postnatal specialist coach at FFS gyms. You are relatively early into your first trimester at the moment, which means you may not feel you have a huge amount of people to speak to and ask questions. For exercising at this stage in your first trimester, it's really important to make sure you're not overheating. You can do this by managing the intensity of your exercise, pulling it back a little bit, making sure that you're staying hydrated throughout the day, but particularly in the few hours before, during and after that exercise. If you're outside, make sure you're not in direct sun, or ideally staying in the shade, and when you're indoors, make sure you're in a well-ventilated space. At this stage, you might be starting to feel a little bit of nausea and fatigue day to day. If you are, then this is the start of doing what feels good on each day. And that might mean that something you did in a class or a training session a month ago now feels that little bit tougher and takes that little bit more effort. You might also be starting to feel a little bit out of breath. Being out of breath during pregnancy is completely normal. It's down to physiological changes in your body, and later in pregnancy, it's down to the lungs having less space to take a full inhale. When you are doing exercise, just pull back the intensity a little bit. That might mean doing something slightly different. It might mean going for a walk instead of doing a class, maybe yoga, maybe stretching, or doing the class or type of exercise that you are planning, but modifying and changing some exercises slightly to make it a little bit easier overall. As I said, that shortness of breath in pregnancy is completely normal, but of course, make sure to mention it to your GP or your consultant when you see them. The hormone relaxin peaks in your first trimester, and its role is to help our joints to move a little bit more to adjust as the baby grows. As a result, our joints can be a little bit less stable, particularly during movement and exercise. For this reason, it's important to make sure that when doing exercises like a squat or a lunge, for example, that we're not going any lower or any further into that movement than we normally would, or when stretching, that we don't reach any further than we normally would.